SHOT Show 2018 at the Hardcore booth with Brian. How you doing, man?
Good, Stuart. How about yourself?
Good. Good to see you, brother.
You too.
Listen, well, I mean, you're almost like family now. I keep bumping into it. It's like,
It's a couple of years, yeah.
as long as it's not against policy, which is the whole thing we were just talking
That's
about.
okay, yeah. I don't think I have anything to worry about off camera.
What are you going to do, right?
Sure.
Good deal. So, what do we have you for either late 2017, bridging into 2018, making this a better year for everybody?
Yeah, we're always about the bigger, better, trying to improve on things we've developed previously. We have a couple of different options that moving forward. One of our original big success stories was our ASOT 01, based around the SOC-P dagger that program, Special Operations and Combatives program, the U.S. Army developed, utilizing other governments who learned that style of use and different application programs, went ahead and developed their own variant on those things that still meets those program specs, allows their military and their allied special forces to go ahead and build off a successful program. We went ahead and started with this option, then we moved over to our Tonto variant. The Tonto variant allowed us to go ahead and pretty much just change up the blade style. So same functional use, same functional body, allowed it just to be more user-friendly for individual applications and taste variants for what people are trained in. So moving forward.
No, wait a minute. And look at me. I'm like, okay, here we are. Like, who's the talk show host
Right,
lady?
Vanna White.
That's it. I was trying to Vanna White, like I'm doing Vanna White.
We said the individual. I said the grip is identical in both the knives and the same strength to weight ratios on everything. It's just literally talking about blade styles and blade shapes. And so, like I said, they always went with a specific style of frame for the sheath. So it was very low profile. You could mount it to a tech lock, a molly lock, different things like that. But we were always going ahead and trying to emulate different military or customer requests, where we ended up moving over here to a single channel of molly, whereas the previous frames for any of the sheaths would always take up two slots of molly. So we weren't always happy with that. So working with the team, we got ahead and got an engineering team. They worked together, gone ahead and locked in on a solid piece, single column of molly. It goes ahead, takes standard screw sets for your tech lock, like this guy, the molly lock, which is right here, or clean, and then you can run paracord through it. So it allows you to go ahead and utilize that in a couple of different ways. But then the nice part about that is it'll also take the Tonto variant, also lock that in. They're all jump rated, works really, really well.
Instead of requiring a dedicated sheath.
Yes, so we can also do that for both live blade variants, and on top of that, it also allows us to go ahead and lock in all the trainers. So you're literally getting 4 total knives, 2 live blades, and 2 different trainers in one sheath. So if you have that attached to a belt, a bag, a pack, or a person, it all remains jump rated for any military unit that currently has a jump rating, but it also allows us to go ahead and offer a lot of versatility in a small frame package for our customers who may have invested in more than one of our knives, make sure they're getting their money's worth across the board.
And in that regard, you can just leave your sheath mounted.
Yes.
If you have a desire to change knives or change whatever reason,
yes,
change blade configurations, you just leave the sheath
exactly
mounted.
You already have that user mobility, that muscle memory. You're pulling and removing things, using the tool from the same exact location. It allows you to make sure you're sacrificing that for the want of having to change out a blade or be able to move something around a little bit. The other ones that we have 3 prototypes that are currently on deck. We have a clip point. We have a close quarters fighter that is a little bit different, has some jimping on the back for trapping and a reverse recurve edge there. And
Is the recurve edge new for hardcore?
We have a couple on our, let's move over here so you can see it really quick. That's our current production.
It's a little more subtle.
Yes, so in this case, this is where this lends itself. You can see the family resemblance, as they say.
Yeah.
But then in this case, we made it a little steeper, so we were able to go ahead and add a little bit more of a dimension to it. This is kind of a combination between this blade style and this blade style with this guy stuck in between. So it allows you to combine some elements of a Tonto, some elements of a spear point, and allows it to really move forward with a lot of aggressive tendencies. But these guys should be available hopefully later in 2018. But moving forward,
what's the expected price point on this series?
They're going to run right around the same price, between $250 and $300. But again, the thing that you're getting for all of those is you're getting the tool itself, which I'll use this one as an example. You're getting the tool itself, you're getting the sheath, you're getting a tech lock, you're also getting a molly lock and a morale patch. So you're getting a whole kit that allows you to carry it and customize it to your wants and needs.
Not to mention a stand for the dresser, right?
That's a whole different thing. If you really want to work that out, I'm sure we got wholesale pricing on those.
Okay. Now, how about the mini axe situation? We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
That was where policy came into play.
Well, the deal is here, if you look at these guys, this is the CTT, our Compact Tactical Tomahawk 01. That is the baby of the family. It really has become a bladed freight train. We've got a lot of guys using this for law enforcement and military applications to great effect around the world. Various allied military units have reported back they've absolutely been in love with it. The only difference that we had a request for was, instead of removing the spike off of this, to go ahead and switch up to a loggerhead, which brings us to our TTT-02. And that is the only real difference. There are some slight changes in blade shape geometry. There's a little dip in the back of the head to allow a flat point for your grip of your palm. But the blade remains incredibly robust. It's over a 1/4 inch thick. It's 0.31 inches in thickness. It's an incredibly robust tool. It is the thickest out of any of our tools, and you can't mechanically, as a human, break that. If you do, please, by all means, just like all of our tools, let us know how you did it. We'll go ahead and make sure it never happens again when you send it back to us, and then we'll send you the brand new re-engineered one for free to make sure that we can continue to get your service and get you what you need to get done squared away. But they're excellent tools, and I said that one should be out ballpark 6 to 8 months as long as our production holds true. And I said we have production on the way and starting up in the near future.
And the spike back is still available.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, those are in full production.
Price
and
points on these?
Right around the same as the actual knives. It's at like high 350 and maybe a little bit more, but again, the same animal. I apologize because I have a little trouble remembering numbers off the top of my head today.
No worries. Okay, anything else in the projected future that may be in the pipeline?
Well, we also have our MUK, which is our multi-utility knife. The deal here is that we had a lot of people who were utilizing knives not for close quarters, not for stabbing things, but for really breaching, digging, prying, chopping. We have a lot of people who requested that, and it was very successful in the first generation. So we've re-engineered the handles, and then in this case we went ahead and we have it in a D2 variant for the steel type, and then we went a little higher end and went N690CO, which is what these two bad boys are right here. Allows a little bit better saltwater corrosion resistance and maritime use in case we want to do diving with it. The Teflon based coating, which is unique to HHA, totally proprietary to us, has excellent corrosion resistance regardless, so you're not going to have a problem with saltwater staining, anything like that. Wipe it down with a silicone gun rod and reel cloth and you're good to go. These guys, with that re-engineering, we just made everything stronger. So again, it's right around a 1/4 inch thick, has an extremely solid core that runs all the way up to here before it ever starts to taper in any direction. So it allows me to have a really thick, not just the spine, but a core of the knife. So I can pry with this, I can fully intend to chop with it. We have one report of a gentleman who was a sniper standing on this, and it's a really nice photo. It was 280 plus gear, he said. So it's a really nice picture of him taking a shot over a small crab wall somewhere in Europe. So it kind of made us laugh, but it was exactly what it was intended for. We've got other guys where they'll jam this in a tree, and then when they go ahead and wedge it in really hard, use it as a rest for a rifle. So there's a couple of different things you can utilize these for, and this is probably the impromptu champ of the bunch as far as people jamming it into service and doing things that we didn't necessarily think of, but it'll absolutely excel.
Well, you could jam this into a tree and use it as a cigar rest as well. I mean,
Well, there's that too. I said if you're ever enjoying a nice Havana in the field, sure.
Who knows?
There's a couple of different options.
You need to blend in the right environment.
Well, that's true. It depends on where you're at. I don't know if it'll fit in some jungles in Middle East Asia, but if you go to someplace else, it might be perfectly at home.
Well, the Caribbean is always kind of a nice thing.
That's true.
Especially you want to have that cigar to get rid of the mosquitoes, and and also to blend in with the locals.
Sure.
So it's definitely something you want to do. Anything else that maybe we don't have an example here of, but then maybe there's some talking in the office?
Oh, there's always talk. We're a little mad scientist team when it comes to stuff like that. We always have things in the pipeline, possibly some other different options for breaching tools, close quarter options, different things like that in the pipeline. Some of the ones, like I said, for the prototypes here, we've got different options moving forward, and we're trying to drive in a different angle. But we're always working to improve everything we have, which is a lot of juggling. But we always have something on the drawing board. Nothing I can point to quite yet, but maybe we'll see you in a couple months.
No worries, brother.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Take good care.